But yeah, I'm going to do a surprise wild camp by the Chessington World of Adventures. Cheers. Yeah, nice sundowner. It is flaming red. Oh shit, like, that'll be good. First time I use my tent, set fire to it. There are horses. Hope they don't come running over here. I hope not. Cue theme from Black Beauty. Yep, right now, new tent. This is the Naturehike Cloud Up 2. I'm going to practice putting it up. Hopefully, if we don't have dogs coming in, or children, as you can hear in the background, coming and knocking it down. Last time I had fun with dogs coming in, trying to paw my tent. Yeah, I had fun with. Whoa. Whoa. What the hell's that? I've never seen a butterfly buzz me. That's an angry butterfly. I've never seen an angry butterfly like that. I'm amazed it arrived really quickly. It was 3-4 days maybe. It was supposed to arrive on 10th of June and it arrived really quickly. Of course, no instructions as per all tents. I tell a lie, wow. And it's not all in Chinese. Erection steps. Okay. This tent does very well in bad weather, which is good because we've had some very bad weather. This is very unseasonably, it's sort of breaking the bad weather. You need the ground sheet to put up the frame, then put the outer, so you can't really erect it outer first without the ground sheet. But we shall see. Depending how it connects the frame to the ground sheet, I'm going to see if I can create like a strap version or something. If it's what I think it is, like eyelets or some kind of, you know, something that the frame sockets into, I might be able to create an ultralight version. Because I don't really want to carry a ground sheet, apart from when, obviously, dodgy wild camps where you've got like glass and everything. Yeah, it's eyelets, and then I think this kind of possibly clips into the tent. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's eyelets. That's good. As always, airplane grade. It's obviously not going to fly. It's not fly. Aluminium. It sort of sockets together. In sort of a Y shape. Needs to be simple for me. I might not be an idiot outdoors. I'm not exactly that sensible when putting up tents in the wild. Okay, fine. Right. This is the wonder of these instructions. I think you should peg the ground sheet down first. These little pegs are not very good. I might get some more of the bigger ones. And then you kind of put the frame in, I think. So it feels like it's going to whip in my face. Possibly. We shall find out. One way of doing it is you clip the inner in first. Obviously you have these things where these are supposed to go underneath the poles, and obviously to do that after the fact is kind of fun. So I'm not exactly sure where these clip to. Already one problem, you shouldn't peg it out too tight, because these bits sort of do stretch, but yeah, they kind of should kind of loosely peg it, I think. So that's the inner up. As I say, there is a way. If you've got the ground sheet, you can then put the outer on and then just finagle the corners. Maybe with the tent, inside the tent while it's raining. So yeah, so that's the that roughly. And what confuses me a little bit is for some reason the Naturehike is printed on the other side, which I'm not bothered about, but it keeps me for a while. Yeah, what I didn't realise, it slightly confused me, is that you've got the buckles, you've got this little clip for the inner and the outer, so obviously you can just use the outer on its own or the inner. So yeah, it's pretty much there. I need to tighten it. Now what's really confusing is we've got 5 guys, 3 pegs. I'm feeling that probably the side ones are supposed to share the peg with the ground sheet thingamajig. Not totally sure. And 2 of the guys are longer than the other 2, which I assume are for the front, but there's no marking on them annoyingly. Sadly, my microphone died halfway through, so hopefully I can do this without screaming children or people drilling over there, which is this guy trying to, obviously doing DIY on his house. But yeah, that's up. It's pretty good. Not totally happy with these sharing a peg. It really feels like it needs to be pulled more this way, further out. The guys are quite short. I mean, obviously I could run this a bit longer and have less, but you know, they are quite short guys. But as you saw, it is a freestanding tent, which is what I wanted. The problem was when I was on the trip in Scotland, I love my Lanshan 1 and my Lanshan 2. Brilliant tents. Stony ground and pebble beaches are their bête noire, or sand. Not good for a trekking pole tent because you need the tension, and even with rocks on each of the pegs, my tent collapsed a few times. Luckily, the times where I camped on stony ground, it was not blowing a gale. If it was, it would have been a real problem because the tent would not have stayed up. Hence the Naturehike Cloud Up 2. So this has been my I don't know where I'm going to be stealth camping tent. According to My Life Outdoors, Stephen, this is actually a very bomb-proof tent for bad weather, because that frame you saw that I put up, it actually just flexes, so it might collapse in bad weather, but then it just springs back. Whereas other tents, they kind of bend the poles in extreme wind conditions. So this should be better for what I plan to do, wild camp. When I say wild camping, I don't mean just a car park somewhere. I mean wild camping. Let's have a look. But it's got the Velcro. Difficult to open up. Wild camping, as I plan to do on top of a tour or a mountain or sort of somewhere that isn't kind of trail camping. The more freestanding a tent is, the more safe it is in bad weather. So, no tent will survive really bad weather, but this survived very high winds. On the top of Stephen's car when he did that testing, so that's other people have confirmed as well. And I saw quite a few of these on the West Highland Way and the Great Glen Way, so that was a bit like, yeah, I think we need to get one of these. But yeah, I know some of you like, not another tent, but yeah, I bought my Lanshan 1 in 2020 and my Lanshan 2 about a year ago, so it's not exactly masses of tents. But yeah, we'll see what it's like inside. I like the fact it's got double zips, so you can do this. I have not had a tent where it can do that. So you can actually have the top open, but not let all the beasties crawl in. I just evicted a spider, so spiders will get in, but that's quite good. There we are. So we've got this pocket up here. Yeah, I'm not happy about that. I really are. It needs to line up. I assume it's a tension. I don't want it to rub against the non-reinforced bits, but I'm not sure how easy it is to properly line it up. I remember from my Coleman how difficult that was to actually line things up properly. Let's see if I can line it. Yeah, it fits, kind of. I did check out the measurements and it was about the size of Lanshan 2. It's a little bit smaller inside, possibly more headroom. I mean, the thing is if I'm hitting this, it doesn't really matter as long as I get the door open. Because if the end of the mattress, which is quite often happens, pushes against this, it's not going to be against the outside of the tent. So if it sticks out a bit that way, that's not a massive problem. Whereas the Lanshan, the way it's designed, you are pushing against the sides of the mesh onto the inner, and that is a bit of a problem because I quite often end up with my sleeping bag wet at the bottom. These little leaves, you could store stuff there. Yeah, the vestibule isn't massive. I haven't really poked it out fully out, stretched out, but that's enough to cook in, I think. Yeah, and there's the mesh at the back with the vent. It is a 3-season tent. I think with the high sides and the mesh at the top, I think you probably could stretch it to sort of shoulder, maybe even fine in colder weather if you have the cold weather gear or maybe some layering underneath. I think you probably could get away with that. I would say, yeah, this looks kind of like a good sort of 3.5 season because of this. The more solid sides. If this is all mesh, that would be like, oh, that's really 3 or 2. It doesn't matter so much touching the sides. It's actually quite hard to push it against the inner. So although it feels a bit more restricted than a Lanshan, it does have that benefit that it's harder to push it against. It's possible maybe there. It's possible in a few places, but that might be because I haven't got it as taut as I need it to be. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Oh, there's a hook. It's always good to have a hook. Right. Yeah, I can imagine it getting a bit windy in here with that big mesh door and these sides, although they blow onto here, so that's, you know, and I'm sure there's probably a way of lowering them a bit. Just worked out that it was riding so high because actually you clip in the sides to the inner. I didn't know that. So that's sort of lower, and obviously if you kind of peg it down a bit, you can probably peg it down close to the ground if you need to jury rig that if you wanted it lower down. We don't do pure gear videos anymore, and I'm not a backyard backpacker, so here's a wild camp using a tent. I even got my chips from the local kebab shop, but yeah, I'm going to do a wild camp, surprise wild camp, because I wasn't planning to wild camp tonight, but it was such a nice warm evening, although it's kind of getting colder now. 23 degrees. I was like, sod it, I'm going to go and test a new tent and try a location I've not tried before that's local to me. So I'm going to camp right by, hopefully, Chessington World of Adventures. We're not in Chessington World of Adventures. This is Winey Hill, or just to meet Winey Hill. I'm just coming up here to eat my chips and chill out and hopefully camp up here. Chessington World of Adventures in that way. Literally 5 minutes. So you keep walking on this path. You can actually walk down the side of it, and that's the usual way I come up here. But this time I came up the quicker way, which thankfully had a kebab shop next to it. Oh, it's quite funny. There was a woman in the kebab shop and she just took one look at me in my backpack and was giving me side eye. She didn't seem to be a customer, she seemed to hang out there talking to the owners, and so that was her idea of entertainment of an evening, was to hang out in the kebab shop. Don't throw shade, really. Oh, there is water here. Some of these were dry, kind of dew pond type things. There are sometimes cows in this field. I'm not seeing any fresh cow pats, so that's the stone bench. Just camp there or camp behind there. Once the light show is finished, and it's mostly, I got here a bit late, so it was more impressive earlier. I don't think we'll get many people up here. It is starting to get colder now. It's going down to about 9 or 10 tonight. There's Mark Anstead from All Family and Friends. I don't know if it looks like a trig point. Maybe it had a sculpture on it or something. It's quite a convenient little sitting point. I've painted this view before. I'm thinking of being very much not stealth and just going there. You really can't be asked to hide in a wood. Especially as it's kind of it's not a bad night. Usually I'm very averse to being kind of cold, but I'm literally right by home. I can walk home if I have to, so it's kind of like, you know, if someone has a go, they have a go. And first I'm getting some layers on and get a drink, because I brought some drinks with me. But yeah, it's starting to get a little bit chilly in that wind. Cheers. Yeah, nice sundowner. Cheers. Sadly, you're hearing the ever-present A3. That's what you're hearing over there. Just on the way here, and it's kind of always there. It's always around. But yeah. I mean, Chessington World of Adventures doesn't operate. It'll operate tomorrow morning, I think. Yeah. It would have been running today. The hotels are open. There's the B-feet are down now, the Premier Inn and that kind of stuff. So they're open. And the reason why I stopped at the kebab shop was to get water. I forgot. I was planning originally to go somewhere else. I know that has a water tap. And then last minute, I moved to here because it was like, oh, it's getting too late. And then my partner suggested it. I was like, okay, yeah. And, you know, it's a place I know. I've been up here before. I've never considered wild camping here. We'll see if we get aggro. As long as I get out of here kind of early on, I think I'll be alright. We'll get dog walkers through here, probably. I go up and maybe make breakfast here, or go home and have breakfast, and I've got both. So I've got both breakfast and a dinner, even though I had the chips. I don't need it, but I don't need it really, because I just have some chips, but I do actually have a dinner, some food, if I get hungry. So yeah, no one's turned up. There was someone who was walking through here earlier, but I don't see anyone else. And yeah, I brought out the Gwydion Pro. It's alright for short trips. It's a bit hard in the back. I think I might set up a tent because there's no one around. I see no cows at all, so we'll find out if cows come knocking in the middle of the night. The tent is up. Looks good. I haven't put all the guides on. It's not going to fly away, I don't think. But we'll see. Might do a live stream. Stupidly, I've got my caldera cone, so I'm having to improvise. It's the first time I'm using it in the. I'm a bit worried about this, but we'll see. Working quite well, this improvised windbreak, but it is a little bit. You can see. Cone. It is flaming red. Oh, shit, flame. Careful. Those flames are lapping up quite high. Maybe I should use it more closer to the thing in future. That'll be good. First time I use my tent set fire to it. Yeah. That's working. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yep, I did manage to put it out. Because flames were going everywhere. So I was doing it. Yeah, I think in future a bit more closer to the door, a bit more. But we don't be too close to this, really. But yeah. It's beautiful out here. I don't know if you can see any of this. I just saw a shooting star. But yeah, you can see all the stars. Obviously there's light pollution in London, so not all the stars. But yeah. I've never seen a shooting star. You can see I'm not exactly sure what that is, whether that's up towards Tooting or be north of here, so maybe Kingston. You see a lot of the lights of because there's so much planes going over here, all the lights of the warning beacons. Those people have gone to bed. house over there. Yeah, it's very chilled here. Going to make some food. I had to evict some slugs. Hopefully they haven't found my food yet. Yep, there's holes everywhere here. Yeah, just gonna... This makes a very good windshield. Oh yes, I'll put some food on here. And also, just like to set fire to everything. So I'll try my noodles. Apparently mushrooms of shiitake are soaking. They're about ready. I'm a bit low on water. No, it's the only drawback about here, it's no water. Although I should have brought my filter, and I could have at least filtered the not very happy looking water in there. I've got a spare bottle of water, but it's only like half a litre, but I won't go without, but yeah, might not be enough for breakfast. Morning, just after 6. I don't know if I had a good night because I only had about 3 hours sleep because by the time I finished food and went to bed, it was 3 o'clock, and then it's like, well, I have to be out by about 6. I've not heard anyone, but I'm sure I probably have had people wander by. Getting out. There were horses. Uh-oh. Horses are like, what? What's going on? At least they didn't eat my tent. They're like, oh, there was that green thing over there, and suddenly someone's come out of it. Oh my god. Yeah, I lost a peg last night, so I need to find it. That's what I heard last night. I did hear some noises, but they didn't bother my tent. They didn't eat me. They didn't eat my tent. So this is where I was camped. This is the stone thing that was very slugged last night. They were okay with the green thing. Surprise green thing in tent, in field, but now they're really kind of quite confused. Hopes they don't come running over here. I hope not. Cue theme from Black Beauty, but yeah. Yep. Clear sight enough. I found my other peg. Yeah, and somehow it got... I don't know how it did that. I tripped over it and during the live stream, and somehow it got between the ground sheet and the tent. Yeah, it was a bit of a panic where the horses were running around. They obviously didn't see the green object. And I come out of it and like, what's this? First just arrived from space. And then when I was taking the tent down, obviously I probably alarmed them, flapping things around a bit, and the inner being a lighter green, a bit more visible. Probably was like, what? But seemed to calm down now. But I was worried that I'd come and get shouted at by a horsey person. I arrived here, they weren't around here, but they roam around the site, so yeah, I've just got those horses here. And the sun came out just at the point as I just put my tent away, and a bit of sun. I let Steve fly out to try and dry it, and it wasn't drying, so I put it away. And then the sun came out. I was like, thanks. Anyway, rather than hang around here and have breakfast, I'm going to go home. I think I'm going to falter anyway. Oh, and the wonders of red light. Oh, there's another one. There is another one. Oh, more money. Someone lost £1 and then I found a 20p as well. Hey, I made £1.20. But yeah, my red light last night picked up change in here. Oh, another 5p. Someone's dropped a whole load of cash here. Thank you. Give the donations to the channel. Let's see more. the wonders of the red light, because that usually picks up pegs. Didn't see any pegs, found money, yay! And there we are, we can see the jackdaw that was annoyed right there, right where I was. Yeah, I heard outside the tent the jackdaws getting really pissed off with me. They're like, and it was obviously that jackdaw's site, or two jackdaws, usually they're paired. And yeah, they were pissed off. Sorry horsies for scaring you. Happy horsies. They're not too bothered by me now. So yeah, not much happened on that camp, really. It's a lovely place though, Winey Hill, and as I've not seen anyone, so not heard any. I was very certain I would have dog walkers early on. Nobody, no, nothing. Probably because of the horses. Dog walkers always want to let their dogs run around and hassle things, but there's signs everywhere saying, though it was covered over in foliage, so it just said, oh, livestock in the field, it didn't say specifically horses. Otherwise I would have known it were horses in the field, because I wouldn't usually camp there. And yeah, there was currently horses in there. I would say I don't know where they were hiding last night, but they weren't around where I was last night. Dog going to see that as animal abuse or something. Yeah, I've had that conversation with them. I can't put my dog on the leash. It's animal abuse, and it's like, it's also human abuse if your dog is hassling other people or hassling other animals. It's very interesting how the animal abuse is very selective around, oh, yeah, it's animal abuse to have the dog on a lead. But who cares about the rights of the sheep and the horses and the cows? Yeah. I like dogs. I love dogs. Not a fan of dog owners. This is Barwell Lane. It's kind of weird that somewhere so rural feeling is literally 5 minutes walk, maybe 10 minutes, but 5 minutes walk from the main road to Chessington World of Adventures, which, as I say, is just over there. Not going to go and visit it, but yeah, horses in fields and country lane. That way is Claygate, but yeah, it's very rural. But it's actually not too far. Yeah, we've got these bridleways and things in the area, but it's not too far from Life and the 71 bus. The state of that net. There's the main drag. Oh, I got to tell you, I just missed the 71. So yeah, literally that's 2 minutes from where I just showed you. And people in the theme park stay around the theme park, so it's not like... And if you go a bit further out towards Box Hill, you've got Malden Russia, which is very posh. No 4G. Couldn't do a live stream there. There's no 4G there. That's very posh and also very rural. But then you've got kind of like Kingston and Surbiton and sort of west of here you've got the sort of Ewell and New Malden, and so yeah, it's a real mixture. Thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed that, please consider hitting the like button or consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. In fact, on screen now we have the first of the test camps, which is another local wild camp. So please click on that and give it a watch. And I will speak to you soon.